Hello everyone, Mega Man NG here, and it's time now for another Ace Attorney anime review. It's been a while. It really has, because there was no episode last week. But now we reach the month of September, and you know what that means. Ace Attorney is slowly coming to an end. And I speak of the anime. We have like 4 episodes left, and this week we're going to be talking about episode 21. I believe it's Farewell My Turnabout, First Trial. So here's the deal. I'm going to be providing my thoughts on the episode, what I liked, disliked about it, etc. As well as how different it is now. Because there's so much to say here that it's without a doubt ridiculous. Basically, Farewell My Turnabout is following exactly as the game. It started off with the Hero of Heroes Grand Prix that ends with the Nickel Samurai victorious over the Jammin' Ninja. And even the Jammin' Ninja felt a bit angry. However, it was going to be led to some sort of press conference, but that gets cancelled due to the death of the Jammin' Ninja himself, Juan Kurita. And guess who ends up being convicted? Matt On Guard, who also is the Nickel Samurai. But it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. And here's why it actually does get worse. Maya gets kidnapped by some unknown person, who, if you guys have played the games by now, it's Shelly the Killer. Yeah, so what if I'm spoiling it for some sort of thing? We're almost at the end anyway, and if you guys have played Justice for All, you already know. And the only one who can save her is Phoenix Wright, and get this. He wants Nick to prove Matt On Guard's innocence. Why do I have this weird feeling that it's going to be trouble? And it eventually leads up to the trial after a much-needed investigation, and the return of a legendary prosecutor. Yeah. This episode is without a doubt an intense one. So what if the pacing is somewhat all over the place? Who cares? I'm enjoying this all the same for a number of reasons. For starters, they've changed things up. In the games, in Farewell My Turnabout, Lotta Hart is in it. However, here in this case, they made it especially special. Why? They replaced Lotta Hart with Larry Butz. I mean it. This just made the episode all the more better. It just made it so giddy. It made it so good. I loved it. I truly, truly love it. I mean it. I really do love it a lot. Having Larry Butz in this instead of Lotta Hart just makes it sweet. And thankfully, I can say it's a saving grace, because even though Larry at times can be reliable, he's still an idiot. When something smells, it's usually the Butz. And it usually is Larry. Though fortunately, we'll have to see how things are going to go. We'll have to see, because it's too early to tell. And the episode has actually gotten a bit serious. It actually got a bit serious since now we have to deal with a kidnapping. And it's up to our favorite attorney to set things right. If only he had any idea. If only he had a clue what was really going on. But all that is safe for the next episode, because let's be honest, this episode was very good. Even though the pacing can be a bit all over the place, the addition of Larry Butz, or rather in this case replacing Lotta Hart, is a nice change of pace. Very, very nice. And yes, we actually do have Ult back. Yes, she's back. She's back, and I believe she's now more annoying than ever with that ray gun of hers. And Will Powers also makes an appearance too. Though this time he's a bit more confident ever since what happened in Turnabout Samurai. A bit more confident, and honestly, I like that. It makes it very, very good. And it was nice. It was a nice change of pace. Though there were some funny moments in the episode, like in the scene when Phoenix and Francisca meet, Francisca whacks the whip around, and you see Gumshoe and Nick are like holding together, and they're like, they don't even want to deal with that whip. And believe me, these two have different reasons why, and it's better you don't want to know. I really do like it a lot. But considering that next week's episode is the trial itself, it's nuts. And yes, I have to mention it here, the return of Miles Edgeworth. Yes, but the thing is, they had Miles Edgeworth come back 5 minutes before the movie ends. It would have been better if they saved it for next week's episode. If they saved it for next week's episode, it would have made things all the more sweeter. It would have made things all the more better. It would have made things all the more satisfying. And gives you a reason to want to watch it again and again. But having it 5 minutes into the end, his return? My God. And it also doesn't help that we actually see Francisca actually getting shot by the killer, aka via sniper rifle. And she suffers in the same place her father would have it. Around her shoulder. Her right shoulder where the bullet is. I guess it runs in the family. It really does run in the family. I gotta be honest, this episode was pretty good. Even though the pacing was a bit rushed at times, I liked it. The addition of Larry Butz made the episode a bit more better. I don't know how though, but I do kind of like it. And the ending is just setting things up for next week. We do meet a lot of new characters though, like Adrian Andrews, a woman who, if I were to spoil it, it would be pointless. But what I am going to say is she has a big role in this case. A very big role, and for good reason, because there was a scene of her looking back on something important and it just made her sad. Not to mention the card. That's going to be a role for next week's episode. I'm going to rate this an 8 out of 10. I do love the episode a lot. The addition of Larry Butz made it all the more better. I liked it a lot. The pacing can be a bit all over the place, but who cares? It was that good. And the return of a legendary prosecutor, although it weighed down a little this episode, I just wish they saved it for next week, then it would have been all the more hype for it. And it would give me all the more reason to use Edgeworth's theme for next week's review. Guess that went out the window, didn't it? And we also do meet Matt on guard. Like I said, we meet Matt on guard, but that's a topic for another day. I'm saving that for the big moment, because how they're going to do this is going to be completely different. So, yeah. That's it for this week's anime review. It wasn't much, but we have about 4 episodes left till Ace Attorney comes to a close. September is the month where it all comes to an end. And how fitting, too. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you want to see more stuff from me, swing on over to my channel. It never hurts to subscribe. And I hope to hear from you guys what you guys think in the comments. And if you want to be even more awesome, please be sure to check out my Patreon as well. It does help a lot. That's it. See you next week for when we review Farewell My Turnabout, Second Trial. This is Mega Man NG, signing off. Peace out. Good night!